Hello, folks. Scott Guile from Macmillan. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are set to begin. I'm simply passing control to Will Hasler. Will is one of our digital solutions specialists who supports our adopters who use LaunchPad. He is a product expert and discipline expert in the sciences, the life sciences, but is very much product expert in LaunchPad. So he is prepared to show you some of the cool things that you can do with LaunchPad, and then we will open things up for QA to answer any and all comments and questions you have. Please do use chat to send any comments and questions. You are on mute. There's over 55 people in here as of right now. Thank you very much. And with that, I will pass to Will Hasler.
Thanks, Scott. I'm excited to be here today to share with everybody a little bit about LaunchPad. We have a lot to go over and going to try to give you a good overview of what LaunchPad is and how it can be helpful for you and your students. A little bit about me. As Scott mentioned, I'm the digital solutions specialist, one of them here at Macmillan. I work closely with instructors all across the country to help them implement technology in their classrooms, whether they're online or face-to-face, and really help them leverage the amount of resources that we have available to help give students an effective and engaging learning experience. Now today we're going to talk a little bit about LaunchPad and how LaunchPad can deliver some certain goals that will help students be more engaged and will help in the overall education experience. So why LaunchPad? In designing and creating LaunchPad, we came up with a series of goals, of benefits that LaunchPad does to help in the learning experience. So the first overall one was we wanted to make sure it was effective and engaging for students. We wanted to make sure that it was easy for instructors to use and easy for them to set up, and then simple for students to be able to use as well. We wanted to make sure students came to class more prepared. That's something that as we worked with lots of instructors across the country, it's been very important that students come with that knowledge and come prepared to class. We also believe that LaunchPad facilitates multiple methods of learning, and overall it will save you time in your class and what you do. So what do students think of LaunchPad? Well, every year, every semester, we do a survey of what students think of their experience with LaunchPad. And this past spring, we had 6,000 students surveyed. And as you can see, they recorded they had a better understanding of the material, they were more engaged with what they were experiencing, and they also thought it was very helpful for the exams that they had in their courses. So with that brief introduction, I want to go into LaunchPad and show you around and walk through some of these benefits that LaunchPad has. Now, LaunchPad is specific to each discipline, each text that Macmillan publishes. And so you come from a variety of different disciplines here listening today. I'm going to go over things in general, things that apply to all LaunchPads, but know that each discipline, each text individually is specifically tailored for what you're doing so that that LaunchPad can be the most effective that it can be. So, for example, I'm going to be showing the nutrition LaunchPad. And everything in this nutrition LaunchPad is specific and was created according to the text that was written by Jamie Pope for Nutrition for a Changing World. And as you look at individual LaunchPads for the various disciplines, you'll see that everything is also very coordinated and aligned with that specific text. So the first thing that I want to show is these curated units. So in LaunchPad, each chapter is set out with specific resources and the entire ebook to create a curated experience and be able to give you a jumping off point to set your course up and also give the appropriate resources for either before class, after class, or the resources that students can use to study as well. I also wanted to point out that what is found in your textbook is closely aligned with what is found in your LaunchPad. So for instance, if we go into chapter 2 here and understanding the labeling on food, what you'll see is we have, this is a graphic that is the exact same that you'll see in the text. It's available here online as well. And we also include animations or other interactive activities that help students understand what things can be explained better in a more visual and audio representation. And these animations, as you can see, correlate directly with images in the text so that students make that connection between what they're seeing on the printed page and what they see online. So the next thing I want to emphasize is that LaunchPad is easy to set up and easy to use. For example, if I wanted to assign this learning curve activity, which is our adaptive quizzing, by hovering over it, clicking on the Assign button, I can then click on the due date, I can change the point value, and I can also create a gradebook category, either a new one or one that I've already created. And clicking Assign, I can assign that assignment and have it available for students and available in the gradebook. We also have the ability to update and create settings for multiple assignments all at once. That also helps with the ease of use. If I click over here to the calendar, you'll see a snapshot of what things are assigned. If by chance I want to rearrange or reassign things that I have assigned, it's just dragging and dropping things, and that reassigns the due date as well. Students also find LaunchPad easy to use as their assignments come up here to the top. They have a notification bar to see what exactly is due when, and they'll also see what's due and those due dates that those assignments are due. As well as you'll see that all of the assignments, navigations and ways to walk through LaunchPad, the menu is here on the left, and it's a very easy mobile-friendly platform that students find easy to navigate. So talking a little bit about having students come to class more prepared, I wanted to walk you through our adaptive learning activity called Learning Curve. Each learning curve is set up with learning objectives in mind. As you can see here, we have 4 learning objectives for this particular chapter. And as you go in, you can preview the activity as a student. From here, you will see a series of questions. Down here at the bottom, the goal for the student is to fill up this progress bar. So it's more game-like and less like taking a quiz and worrying about your overall score. They have to come in here and fill up this bar. Right here you have your potential points or your potential progress that you can do if you get the question right the first time. As you can see, I got that question incorrect, and the potential points have gone down. If I continue to get the wrong answer, I'm not going to make any progress in going forward with this quiz. The other thing to realize is that we want students to succeed here, and so we have incorporated a link to the ebook for every single question that brings them into the specific topic that that question addresses. So by reviewing this section of the ebook, the student can then come in and answer that question correctly, gain their points, and move on in their activity. As an instructor, you have some valuable feedback that is given to you from the data that your students have completed. As you can see, you have a breakdown of every student who's completed the activity. You can also see an overall average here. One of the most popular things that instructors like is the class topic breakdown. If this is chosen to be assigned before class, you can pull this up before you go into lecture and see which topics students need more help on and which ones they understand quite well.
Will, this is Scott. If I may, for a learning curve, a couple other really salient points are that this is an adaptive quizzing engine. The reason people use it before class is because to get credit, the student simply has to complete the activity. Those categories that Will showed, the student progress is recorded throughout. At the halfway point, the categories the students are doing most poorly in, they get more material from. So it becomes an adaptive, customized, formative quiz that most of our adopters are assigning before class to have students come prepared. Sorry, Will, continue.
No, that's exactly right, Scott. And one of the things that I've noticed and I've talked with numerous instructors about is even once the students completed this, the adaptive quiz learning curve, then they go back in and continue to use it as a study aid for taking exams and further on in their course. So it's something that students really enjoy, and as an instructor, it's easy to set up and gain some valuable data from that. So if we go back home, I'm going to go into another unit here for Chapter 15. And I want to illustrate the importance of having multiple methods of learning available in LaunchPad. So again, having adaptive learning is important that we have here with Learning Curve. We also have the ebook here. And again, this ebook is more interactive. It's not just a static ebook. If students want to highlight, they can select and highlight their text. They can also add notes to exactly what they are learning here. And then again, you have infographics and short answer questions here that that students can use to really interact with the ebook itself. And again, like I mentioned before, the animations are often tied directly with the ebook, and so you get that multiple methods of learning. So you read it, you hear it, you see it, all those things come into play when you're able to use LaunchPad in its entirety.
Will, we have a kind of a timely question that I'd like to address right here. One of the instructors has asked, are these infographics, objective pictures, something that's done automatically? Can I do it myself? Guess what I'm asking is LaunchPad preloaded with my book and associated materials. I'm going to give a crack at this and you can add on to anything. Yes, every LaunchPad that gets created is preloaded with what we call curated content. Each of those units has learning curve at the beginning, a summative quiz at the end, and a number of interactive type of activities, videos, animations, things like that, included where we find it appropriate. We don't put all of our resources into the units. We select the resources that we think go best with that unit and reinforce that unit's objectives most effectively. So yes, when you create a LaunchPad course, it comes pre-populated. It's, in essence, a course in a box that can be used as is, but it can also be highly customized, and I'm sure Will's probably going to show some of those elements as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that is something that is unique to LaunchPad is every LaunchPad course comes populated with your text that you've selected and those specific interactive resources. And so it's already set up, ready to go. You just need to decide exactly what you want to assign and the due dates and point values, and you're ready to go. One of those things that you can add and customize are video assignments. Here's one that I pulled from YouTube about why hormones control hunger. And this video assignment is a way that you as an instructor can upload videos for students to view, as well as students can upload their own videos as an assignment. For this particular one, this is an instructor-loaded video, and as the students watch the video, they're also encouraged to leave comments, and as they leave comments, they are scored on leaving those comments, and that counts as an assignment for what they do as well.
This tool that Will is showing, you can take any video you find on YouTube and turn it into an assignment this way. That screen can also be maximized for looking at it in preview. The student can maximize it and look at it full screen. But any video that you either create or find on YouTube can be turned into what amounts to a video discussion board assignment. We're looking in the future to also add quizzing to it, but for right now, that's a discussion board comment-based assignment that is a lot of people are finding very cool and flexible.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that you can really add to your course and be able to customize it in the way that you want. The other way to customize your course is, as we said, it's set up initially with, by chapter. If you choose to assign LaunchPad, you can also do it, for example, by module or by week. So the way you set it up is completely up to you. And we want LaunchPad to be able to fit around the way that you teach and not for you have to change the way that you teach to fit what LaunchPad provides. I also want to go into our summative quizzes here, the assessment portion of LaunchPad. As Scott mentioned, each chapter does come with a pre-built summative quiz. As you can see, depending on the chapter and the text you're looking from, there would be 10 to 15 questions. Any of these quizzes can be easily editable, and you're able to remove those questions. I was showing this to an instructor just earlier this week, and I was able to show him how to create a new question. And to be able to add his own question, he went through the process of typing in his question and being able to put in the answers. And after he did that, he said that that's the easiest thing that he's ever done and easier than any other system. So the ability to create your own questions, add your own quizzes, things of that nature is something that's also very customizable and simple to do.
Will, we have a couple of questions I'd like to insert here. Taking a step
Sure.
back, someone asked, can you upload personal videos on the video player? Yes, you can. It supports about 15 different file formats, so any video that you have locally on your machine can become an assignment. You can also make a screencast and turn it into an assignment like this. It's a very flexible tool. So it allows embedding from YouTube and uploading of any video that you personally have on your computer. The other question that I'd like to address here is LaunchPad only used with selected textbooks, or it can be preloaded to fit the textbook we are currently using. LaunchPad is designed to go with the textbook and to work, it be integrated with the textbook. It would not be a good vehicle to fit with a textbook that's not a Macmillan textbook. We do have sapling learning in certain disciplines. That's a much better vehicle for that. So if you're interested in learning about that, please email me and I can let you know about that. We do have a couple of products called LaunchPad Solo, mostly in English composition. also some in history. That can fit with different textbooks, but generally LaunchPad is meant to go with the Macmillan textbook, and the experience is meant to be sort of integrated with the book experience.
Yeah, and because content is so important to us, that is why we've decided to align everything closely with the text. So for instance, the questions that are written for this title are not going to be recycled and used on a different title. They're written to be specifically aligned with the experience that the student gets within the text as well as online. And for here in Chapter 15, if you wanted to add your own questions to this assessment that we have here on the right, you can select those questions and click Add. And those bring those over here to the bottom. The other feature that is used quite a lot is the ability to create a question pool. And what that does, out of those 4 questions that I've selected, I can have every student receive 2 of those questions. And so reduces on the amount of cheating, helps students do their own work, and creates that extra layer of learning for those students.
It's a great practice vehicle, too. If you're building quizzes, not just for straight assessment, but want students to be able to practice, making those pools allows students to take the quiz again and again and not have the exact same quiz. But if you don't mind, well, a couple of questions came in that are related. Someone asked, can I upload grades to Moodle? And another person asked about Blackboard integration. We have integration. LaunchPad is a deep integration with Blackboard, Canvas, and D2L. Deep integration means that it's asset level. You can take, for instance, that learning curve or these quizzes or those animations and place them right into the LMS. So the experience the student has is they never feel as if they leave the LMS. They feel they're working essentially right within the platform. We will have Moodle integration for fall. It may be a basic integration. We have not ironed out the details yet, but you can export grades to any LMS. That's not an integration, that's a grade export, but we do have integrations with Blackboard, Desire to Learn, Canvas, and Moodle is coming.
So as Scott mentioned, any of these resources can be linked directly to your Blackboard, Canvas, or Desire to Learn course. And we also wanted to point out that at any point to get back to the main screen, you can hit that home page, and that will bring you back here. And so the ability to navigate easily is really integrated into the design in LaunchPad.
The student experience, the home screen's on every page. Basically, they see the thing they're working on, next, previous, and home. So there's not a lot of labyrinth type of navigation. There's not a lot of places to go. That was a purposeful move on our part. We wanted to make a system that felt like a website, that felt like a familiar place to students, not one that felt kind of like an LMS. But that home button is always present in the left-hand corner, unless, of course, you're on the home page like we are now.
Yep, exactly. And so, as you can see, we walked through things relatively quickly, but we've touched on how LaunchPad can be an effective and engaging learning experience, how it's easy to set up, simple to use, some resources that are available to help students come to class more prepared, and also how LaunchPad facilitates multiple methods of learning through reading, animations, video tools, and also that LaunchPad can save you as an instructor time by having things graded automatically and giving that assessment portion to LaunchPad to be able to grade and come up with.
You can also easily move your course from one semester to the next. So if you put work into a semester and built LaunchPad and done some customizations, it's literally about 5 minutes to make a copy of it and change the due date fields from fall to spring or spring to fall or from one quarter to another quarter. Will, before you go to the deck, do you mind showing quickly the add new and browse resources so people understand how they add content to, if we just click add new here, so people see the options they have for kind of assignments they can add. There's that video assignment that we saw before, the quiz so we've looked at a couple of these, but there are others. There's a document collection. You can have your own HTML page. You can create a discussion board. You can create a Dropbox. You can bring documents in. There's also a ton of our own resources that you can take advantage of. So if you click here, as I mentioned earlier and Will mentioned earlier, we have not put every resource into the units. We built the units with the idea that they would be about a chapter's worth of work. So oftentimes there are additional resources that we have not used. You can add any of these things anywhere you wish within LaunchPad. So there's additional publisher resources that you can add and put anywhere you want. Sorry, Will.
No, and I failed to mention the instructor resources are available here within LaunchPad that really do help save you time. Everything's right there, from the lecture slides, other images, other resources that you find available for your specific text are also available there in the instructor resources, as well as at the end of every LaunchPad chapter. And these curated units, we have included the instructor resources for there to be easy to access as well. Okay, we'll come back here.
One other question quickly. Can you extend due dates for individual students for summative quizzes and learning curve? We're not going to show it right here because I don't want to interrupt Will again. Yes, it is very easy to extend due dates to give different settings to individual students, whether they just need an extended due date or they need different settings based on accommodations or accessibility. So it is actually very easy to do that within LaunchPad.
Yes, it really is. The LMS integration we talked about, single sign-on, gradebook sync, and the ability to link directly from individual resources. That is something that also makes LaunchPad very easy to use and creates a seamless experience for the students. As far as service and support, this is something else I wanted to emphasize because it's something that we really pride ourselves in. We have a dedicated technical support line for instructors and students that's available day and night. They can be reached by telephone. They can be reached by email. We also have the ability to chat back and forth. So that sort of technical support is there all the time. We also have a large database of self-help documents that you can find frequently asked questions and see exactly, what issues you may have or what you want to do and how to do it. And we have a team of product and discipline specialists that are here available for trainings, for consultations. We help instructors set up courses and really help make that experience as seamless as possible. And that transition, if you're taking your course online for the first time or just starting to assign online resources, we're here to really help and support you in that process to make sure that you have a great experience in what you're doing.
Will, we have a ton of questions coming in. I'd like to get to some of these. And thank you guys. We really love when you guys send questions in. This is the good use of this format, we think. I will start from, I believe, where we left off on the questions. Is there similar training on how to integrate with Blackboard, or is the building block readily available along with configuration instructions? I'll take that one, Will, if you don't mind. There is training on how to integrate with Blackboard, even if the building block is present at your school. It's an institution by institution thing. I would need to look up if the building block is installed at your institution. If it's not, it's fairly easy to install. If it is installed, you can self-build and follow the instructions. We have a ton of self-help, and you could do that. Or you could be in touch with one of our integration specialists, and they can walk you through it, help set up your course. I guess I'd probably recommend for the first time even if you have experience with the integration, working with one of the integration specialists, it should only take about 20 to 30 minutes. But yes, we have help for that, both self-help and training. Can instructors assign only part of the chapter in the ebook? Will, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so the way the ebook's set up is it's set up in different sections, and so you can take out certain sections of the ebook if you choose to customize that, and you have that ability to really only assign the portions of that chapter that you are going to cover.
But you can also assign the whole chapter. It's up to you. You can actually, we didn't show it on this, but you can actually assign that whole unit. If you wish, you can customize a unit and assign the entire chapter, and that assigns the whole ebook. You can take the sections out that you may not be covering and assign the whole chapter. Very flexible in terms of what you assign ebook or otherwise. So sections, whole, it's up to you, completely customizable. Do students know how they're performing, or the graphics that show students how well or poorly they're learning the material?
So I was going to say for learning curve, there is that specific, we saw that broken down into learning objectives. There's that graphic specifically for how students are learning in that learning curve example. Overall, it will give students it will show them for each chapter, each unit, how many of those assignments they've completed and what percentage, like what their grade percentage for that unit is. So there is some visual representation, as well as they see their individual grades in their grade book to let them know how they're performing in that for the course.
Yes, there is a progress bar in essence for students that shows them what they've done and how they've done on it. When we integrate with LaunchPad Canvas, does each student need to purchase an access code, particularly when we are using deep integration? The answer to that is yes. Because it includes the textbook, it does require the purchase of a code. The code can be purchased in a bundle at the bookstore. We actually bundle them at no extra cost with a new textbook, but it can also be purchased via e-commerce. The price of the e-commerce purchase tends to be about half of the price of the new textbook. It varies wildly from discipline to discipline. I can't quote specific prices, but basically LaunchPad will be about half price of a new textbook, depending on which textbook you use. And that range is anywhere, honestly, from $29 all the way up to like $99, depending on what area that you're teaching in. Have you researched teacher reactions to LaunchPad and their perceptions of student use? Do teachers notice a difference in using the product versus traditional methods? Yes, we have begun to research that. We actually have some case studies at a site called launchpadworks.com. Right now, they're mostly white papers. There is one that was presented recently at a conference. It was specifically about learning curve. It's an area that we're really looking to continue to develop. We do send out an instructor survey every semester, and we get several hundred responses. The responses of that survey indicate that the instructors feel as if it's been beneficial. We get, I don't want to quote numbers off the top of my head. About 70, 75% of instructors feel that way. That's rather informal. I know that's not research. We are looking to do more formalized research. Along those lines, we're actually going to be sending something to everyone that's using or potentially using LaunchPad to do like a 15-minute presentation. If they're interested to come to a conference we're going to have in New York City this summer, sort of a meeting of the minds, if you will. We want to get instructors together with us in presenting their findings so that we can present them to one another, we can share them with our community. So the bottom line, yes, we have begun to do that. We don't have a ton of what would be peer-reviewed research right now, but we're making progress in that area. Let's see. Can you add things directly in the calendar? No, you can't, but you can move things around in the calendar. You assign things the way Will showed. It's a pretty simple process, a couple clicks, but the calendar itself allows you to move things around, but you can't add things right from the calendar. Can an instructor extend a due date after the due date has passed? Will, do you want to take that one?
Yes, that is possible to extend it after the due date's passed. Yeah, it is possible. So just depending on if that is something that there's a situation or a scenario that you decide to do that with, that is a functionality that is there.
I got another question. Can you repeat platform integration? I'm assuming that person's wondering which platforms. Blackboard, Desire to Learn, and Canvas we have deep integrations with. They're in place. The building block does need to be at your school. At many of your schools, it will be in place already. If it's not in place, it can be installed fairly easily. For Moodle, we will have integration for fall. I don't know yet if it's going to be a basic or a deep integration, so I don't want to misspeak or mislead anybody. We will have a Moodle integration for fall. I just don't know if it's going to be deep or basic. That's where we are with integrations. The next one we'll look at will be Sakai, but that won't be available for fall. Let's see, am I missing anything else? What is a building block and how can I find out if it's at my college? If you go to your LMS and go to course materials, if you see a Macmillan logo there, then the building block is in place. You'll probably see other publisher logos too. So if you've ever gone to that place where you see publisher logos, those are building blocks, if you will, middleware building block. No one really knows what to call them. Basically, it's linking your LMS to our site, and it allows for the upload and transfer of content. If there is, under course materials, if there's a Macmillan Learning one on your site, it's in place. You can also email me personally.
Also, if anyone just wants to email me directly, I can look up and find out if that building block is in place. So they're welcome to do that as well.
Thank you so much. I think that may be it for questions. Let me check the chat again, because we're getting them in two places. I think that is it right now. We will be sending out a link to this and also a link to our LaunchPad Works website for anyone that wants to request access, take advantage of additional training. We will be posting this video, this recording on our community site. You can view it there. We would love for you to join the community. You don't have to join the community to view any of the content there, but we're really hoping to start a deeper, more extended conversation with instructors. That's why we have the community. That's why we want to do, we actually did an event in New York last summer, and we want to do one again with instructors. It's something that it's very important to us to have this dialogue with people so that we know what you want and we're better prepared to deliver it as we move forward, because obviously things are moving fairly quickly. What we're looking at now is probably going to be very different at what we're looking at 5 years from now. There's going to be positive advancements. I think that is it, Will, unless you have, wait 1 second. There's a couple more questions. When professors report errors in learning curve, does LaunchPad know it comes from a professor and not a student? I honestly don't know the answer to that. I am sorry. I could look that up and get back to you. Someone asked about copyright issues regarding YouTube videos. Generally, if something is at YouTube, it's been released for the public. So there should not be a copyright issue. If there's a copyright issue with it, it's going to disappear from YouTube very quickly. They've actually been a lot more vigilant and getting stuff that's basically pirated down. So if you're finding it at YouTube, there is not a copyright issue unless, of course, someone violated that copyright issue, and frankly, it won't stay up on YouTube very long any longer if that's the case. It also, I'll point out that a lot of YouTube videos actually come with closed captioning. So you can look for a CC on the YouTube videos, and that would allow you to know that that video is actually going to be accessible to students with hearing, or, well, I guess yes, hearing issues. Can we upload personal videos? Yes. I think that is it for now. Thank you so much for all of your questions and your time today, folks. We truly appreciate it. We, again, will be sending out information after the session. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Recorder.